Hey everybody, Sue here with She Sells, heading out for another day of sourcing. So of course I'm rambling from the road. You can tell it's Q1 and not Q4 because I actually combed my hair this morning and I'm in full makeup, which is my Burt's Bees lipstick. That's about as far as I go. One nice thing about reselling versus the corporate life, I guess. Not that you have to wear makeup in the corporate life, but hey, it is what it is. Oh, I was trying to pick a road that's not too bumpy this morning, because I film from my iPhone just up on my dashboard and you can see every little bump, but again, it is what it is. So I started out this morning, I waited until it was just above freezing to go out. I wasn't really waiting, but I stayed up really late last night finishing up a shipment, packing it up. Dropped off a few packages just now at the post office for eBay. I honestly haven't done a thing in January on eBay. As far as listing, I just haven't done anything with it. And I have stuff that needs to be listed, but I have not done anything with eBay. I've had, I don't know, half a dozen sales, which surprised me. Every time something sells, I think, oh, I didn't even remember I had that left. But I had talked to a young lady who grew up in my neighborhood. I knew her family and stuff. I happened to see her over Christmas, and I talked to her about doing some work for me. She's away at college, a few hours from here, University of Georgia. And I actually talked to her about doing shopping for me. She likes to shop, and I occasionally go out there. There's like one Walmart, one Barnes & Noble, one Ollie's, you know, kind of like one of each store that I shop at. So occasionally I will go out there when there's something in a good quantity that I want, and then I'll shop the rest of them. And I thought, hey, you know, I could, you know, pay her per item or pay her per hour to pick some stuff up for me. But then I got to thinking, she's just looking for some extra side income, and I thought about, I talked to her just for very briefly about doing eBay listings for me. So over the last couple weeks, I mean, one day in particular, I sat down and started typing out all the instructions on how to do a listing on eBay. And my thought is to take pictures and send her like a certain number a week, a minimum of say 10 a week, and pay her like $25 a week to do listings. And if she starts to get faster, you know, maybe have her do more. I think at the beginning it's going to take her a while, even though what I send her right now will be more like Legos and things, which I think will be pretty easy to list, not a lot of research. And then, you know, just sort of morph it into I pay her a little more or I pay her per hour. We'll see how it kind of goes, but my thought is to have a mix of easy items, and then I'd really, really like to start doing estate sales again. And I had pretty much stopped because I was starting to gather things but not really list a lot. I did pretty good in Q4 because I just forced myself to list a lot of the toys, the new toys that I had. And I would say 90% of those were toys that I purchased for Amazon, and when I got home, like I bought 10 or 12 of something and one had a little tear in a corner, or a few times they were in perfect condition till I dropped them bringing into the house, that kind of thing. So those really did well over Q4. And there was 2 toys I got returned on Amazon. I think I might have talked about them before. They were the Love-A-Bella diaper bag sets. So they went along with that Love-A-Bella doll, which I never sold any of those. Actually, I was taking returns for my son, who's also an Amazon seller, and I was taking in returns, and he came over to the house when he was in town one day and kind of went through the stuff and gave me a pile of throwaways, a couple of which were the Love-A-Bella dolls. And let me tell you, those things out of the box were just creepy. And anyway, I don't know if they were even working or not. Yeah, I think they might have been, because I think some of them, I don't know, they were just creepy. But they were a return that he got, and one was, had no box and no accessories with it. Another one, just the box was torn to heck. And this was from the Christmas before, and I sold them early in January. I just threw them up on Facebook Marketplace for like $25-$30. Don't tell my son, because I didn't give him the money. And he just gave them to me to throw out, so I just threw them up there and sold them instantly. I probably should have asked for a little more, but anyway, that was just a nice extra few bucks. So those dolls, I think when they first came out, or early Q4 of 2017, people were making money on them, and then they just seemed to come out in abundance. And then I think some people went ahead and bought them at the going out of business sale with Toys R Us. I don't know if anybody made money on them in 2018. I think Walmart had them. I think it was Walmart had a Black Friday for $49. And initially they were, I think, about $90 to buy. Most everywhere I see now for about $77. Anyway, I say all that to say I bought the diaper bag sets at Toys R Us when they were going out of business. And initially I think I was selling them in the $50 range. I paid anywhere from, I think the cheapest I paid was around $16, but more around the $20, $24 range. I don't remember what they were initially. I think they were initially $38, $39. So I had sold some initially for like $58, maybe $60. And then they just started dropping and dropping. And that was the summer of 2018. I had maybe 20 or 24 left, so I just held on to them thinking, they can't really go down much more than they are, but maybe they'll go up Q4. So I ended up selling them around Thanksgiving, maybe a little after Thanksgiving, for $78 on Amazon. And then I got 2 returns from there. And, they weren't opened or anything, but they plastered this big return sticker over your SKU number, your sticker that you put on it. And I was like, they may have had a little dent or something on them, because I was like, I'll just throw them up on eBay. And I sold them there for $70, $75 plus shipping. So that was fun. That was exciting. Anyway, the reason I'm coming to you today is because one of my viewers had talked about how do you do research when you're new. Initially you just have the seller app, and at least that'll show you when you're scanning if something is restricted for you or not. I pretty much, at the beginning, only went by rank, and that's not really a good way to go, but when you're learning, if you stick to like that 5% sales rank, and that's going to change throughout the year depending on how many products there are in that product line. So say there's, a million in that product line, then the first, this amount, if you go up to this sales rank, it's going to be the 1%, up to this sales rank, the 5%. And don't ask me to do the numbers. When I stop at my first stop up here, I will try and get you what, say, the toy rank or the kitchen rank is right now for the top 1% or the top 5%. You can do a search on Google or whichever search engine you use for FBA rank. Now, from what I learned maybe a year ago, this is what I heard, that Amazon was giving less information to make it easy to do that calculation. Because I know Steven Smotherman used to do one every month and it was free to get it. I think if you look on his website or do a search for his FBA rank, you could still get one. It may be like a year old. And yes, it does change month to month, but if you're going to be just using that top 1 or top 5% sales rank to purchase under, it's going to be pretty close. So I'm going to stop in just a minute now. And actually, I went the wrong way. I'll stop at this store first. I was going to go the furthest and then make my way back, and I just kind of automatically turned down the Walmart road, which I'm not really doing Walmarts today. I may do 1 or 2. But, yeah, I will get those numbers for you when I stop, and then I'll just talk a little bit more about research. Obviously, this woman behind me is driving 2 inches from my bumper, and I'm not really sure why. It's very irritating. I guess she's in a hurry to go to Walmart. So at the beginning, I basically used just the Walmart app. And as I learned more and more kind of what was selling in that category, if it was a bigger ROI, I would go to a higher rank. So basically, I try to keep about, I won't say exactly half and half, but I like to have lower rank items that will sell really fast with a smaller ROI. And then I throw in higher rank numbers, so something that will sell slower, but it has a really big ROI. And I'm fairly confident that will sell within, a month or two. I'm not looking for something really to have 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, but occasionally I will have an item that long. Now, if it's a smaller product, I don't freak out over storage. Especially during the regular time of the year, Q4 is a little different. Q4 storage goes way up at that time. So here I am at my first stop, and I am going to try to check out those rank numbers for you, and then we'll talk a little bit more about research. So I've been to 3 stores since I last spoke, and as you can tell, this is Georgia. It was 29 when I woke up this morning, and now it's 1 o'clock and it's 51 degrees, but the sun is really strong, so it feels even warmer than that. So I've now taken off my scarf, my winter coat, my Polar Tech sweater, and I'm down to my t-shirt. Okay, so I went into I had a list of stores. I even put them in en route this morning, but I didn't get very far. And I have an appointment at 1:30, which I will just make. Because I stopped in one store that wasn't on the list. It was right next door, big sign in the window, 75% off Christmas. All right. Last year it was a Hallmark shop. And last year I got 3 of these storybooks. I think it was actually 90% off last year. It was probably a little later in January. 3 of these storybooks where it's supposed to be like the grandparent reads the story and it records the story, so then you send it to your grandkid, and as they turn the page, they hear you reading the story, or the grandmother or grandfather reading the story. I got 3 of those, and I made really good money on those. So I thought, let me just pop in and see what they've got. And she says to me, oh, I just want to let you know we're changing over the store, and we're getting rid of a lot of stuff, and we're starting to move it up front, but it's not all up front yet. If it says $10 clearance, it's $5. If it says $5, it's $2.50, $3, $1.50. They even had stuff for $1. I didn't find anything for 50 cents. I don't know if you can see my back seat, but I have 5 full-size shopping bags, and it rang up, I think, $327. No, it ended up being $164 because she rang it all up, and then she took 50% off of that. But I would guess that there is at least $600 worth in there. Now, I really had to take my time scanning, because normally I kind of go to the same stores pretty regularly, and I kind of know what to scan already. I will often check new things or different things or whatever, but I mean, sometimes I have a pretty big focus on what I'm already looking for. And none of this stuff had I really seen before, although there were some fingerlings. And I know, laugh at me, I did scan all the different fingerlings, and I found 2. I paid $5 for them, plus tax. I didn't try to do my, I don't have one with me, because I wasn't planning on using them today. I always keep some in the car, but I don't have any. I used my last one this morning at one store that requires it every time I go. My tax exempt. So this fingerling was $5 plus. I'm probably in the 6% zip code, sales tax zone county, and so I probably paid $5.30 for it. They're going for $34.95, and the rank was like under 50,000. Now, here's the thing. I can't sell fingerlings. I've never been able to. I've tried to get ungated to sell them, and I can't. But my son is ungated in them, so I'll either sell them to him, or sometimes we just ship it in with one of his shipments and then split the profit. I mean, he doesn't live in my state, but they're not a new fingerling, and so I'm not in a rush to get those in. It's not like if 3 other people find them at a Hallmark across the country, it's gonna tank. Anyway, so don't laugh. Scan fingerlings. I don't know if you can sell them, but there are still some to be, money made on them. I'm trying to think if there was anything else kind of oddball like that. I mean, they had like some Yahtzee games. One was Zelda. That kind of stuff I'm kind of familiar with. But I bought a bunch of Tarvis. Now, I can't sell that, and I think I've tried to get ungated in that before. But I literally paid $5 for them. I got one of the small size, which I think is 12 ounce, and I'm missing a lid. So the lid, a replacement lid, is almost $7. So right there I saved money. Even if I throw the cup out, I have a new lid for $5. And then they had the large ones. I don't know what they are. They look like maybe a liter, so maybe 20 ounces, something like that. And they were like the Atlanta skyline, and I didn't even see them on Amazon. Can't sell them anyway, but I was thinking maybe my son could, but I don't even see them on Amazon. I even typed it in. But for $5, holy smoke, if I sell them on eBay for $20, I can make $10 on it. Or the other thing I thought about was giving them as gifts and sticking a gift card in there or something. So I went ahead and got those. I'm trying really hard this year not to buy things like that I can't just sell right away. Because I have spent the last 2 weeks cleaning and cleaning out and cleaning out, and I think I totaled a hair over $2,000 in what I call unsellables that I took a write-off for. Now, I would say half of it was stuff I got at Toys R Us. Made a lot of money on at the beginning. A lot of bedding. I made a lot of money on the Babies R Us bedding. And I think they had their own brand. It's called Levtex, Levtex. And I mean, I made a lot of money on that stuff. But all of a sudden, I actually sold almost all the Levtex. I had 2 baby bedding, like the bumper sets, and like 1. Those 2 were the only thing that I couldn't sell on Amazon because the price had gone down so much. I had 2 like changing table covers in that same Levtex pattern. I don't remember if they were a return or when I bought them at the store they were kind of all unopened, and I could never really get it properly back in the package. I wouldn't really do that for Amazon anyway. Long story short, I mean, I probably spent $130,000 on cost of goods last year, so $2,000 really isn't that bad. And a few of it, was mistakes I made or things that sold well at the time, but Amazon's been on them and the price has been. I was selling these little Disney princess movers for $18, maybe even $24 at the beginning. I paid, I don't know, maybe $6 for. And they've been like at $8 for the last 6 months. And I'm tired of looking at them. I hadn't sent the rest in. I was sending them in a little at a time. It kind of just brings you down. It's just like that death pile. And it's like, okay, I had a really good December, the biggest month I ever had, so I might as well just do a write-off. So it adds to my cost of goods for December and makes my percentage look a little bit lower. But you know what? I donated it to a good cause. Now, you can't take the write-off and a donation. Talk to your CPA. I'm not a tax person. But it's out of my basement. I can't think of the word I want, but it just feels good to start off fresh, get cleaned out. It's just not hanging there like a death pile, and I'm looking at it every time I come in the house thinking, oh yeah, I bought that and I shouldn't have, or I bought that and it's tanked and I'm not doing well on that. So yeah, let's just start out clean and fresh. Now, obviously, if you only spent $10,000 last year and you have $2,000 worth of bad stuff, I would try any way I could to recoup anything from that. Facebook Marketplace. Now, I did sell some of it on eBay beforehand, a little bit on eBay, a very little bit on Facebook Marketplace. I mean, I think I sold 2 of the bumper sets. I did try to bring them to, I called the baby consignment stores, and she's like, we just don't sell baby bedding anymore because it doesn't sell well. Well, yeah, I guess I found that out. I guess people don't put bumper sets in their cribs anymore. I don't really know. I'm way past that, but the one that kind of gets me is there was like 6 of them I bought at the very end, and I had scanned them and never bought them, but they got so cheap. I mean, maybe $12, $17 that, and maybe at the time there was an inkling of it looking okay. Never do that. When you have to talk yourself into stuff, you always go wrong, or at least that's me. And I've really tried, as the year went on last year, I really tried to do that. Of course, I screwed up today, but how can you go wrong with a Tarvis mug, tumbler, I guess they're called? I can use them myself, or I can sell them on eBay, or I can give them as gifts. But something that's just an iffy toy item or something, I'm really trying to stay away from. I think I was at Walmart yesterday, and I literally finished shopping, and I put 3 or 4 items back that were kind of like, or if it doesn't sell on Amazon, I could sell it on eBay, or it's got a little tear in it, I'll go ahead and sell it on eBay. No, I'm really trying not to do that right now. I have some stuff for eBay, and if it's a really good Lego set, like I bought a architecture Lego set at Barnes & Noble. I don't remember if it was 50% off or not, and it had a little tear in the corner, and the guy actually gave me another 10% off. Now that I can definitely sell. I can't make a ton of money on it, but it'll sell really fast. So that's just a little different from some, 200,000 rank toy that'll make me $5, but I spent 10 on it. No, not doing it. So that's some of the things I'm trying to do towards my goal. And again, we'll talk about goals a little more because I've been working on it, but I really don't have it set in stone yet. I have some things that I'm planning and working on for plan of action. I didn't bring my sunglasses, but maybe I should have. It's a lot brighter out. I think it's supposed to rain again tomorrow, but I'll try not to squint too much. Alright, so I'm actually on my way to my appointment. I think what I'm going to have to do is go back home and switch out, leave this car and get the truck, because I found out there's 2 more of those Hallmark shops. So my whole day is scrapped with the plan that I had. I was going to Walgreens and GameStops, and I did miss out. And I went to 3 Walgreens yesterday, but I was determined to finish my last shipment before I went out and bought anything more, even if I missed a little bit. There's that, I can't think of the term. I'm not thinking too well today. Afraid of missing out, I was just determined to complete that process of cleaning the basement out before I just started bringing other stuff in. Plus, I had to do year-end inventory, and I had to inventory like the little bit left in my basement. I have some Lego holds and maybe a few other buys that weren't great. But like a transformer that I'm pretty sure will either go up in value, or the bad thing about this transformer is it got some bad reviews. I could make money on it on Amazon, but later, I had sold them earlier, and now it's got like a 2 out of 5, I think. It says that it doesn't transform back into a car very easily and or breaks easily. It was like a Walmart exclusive, so I may just sell those on eBay, or I thought about even just sticking them on Facebook Marketplace. I bought those at the Ollie's. They have one night in December where everything's 25% off. I think I did a video that day. And I had passed on them before, but at 25% off, they were going to make decent money, so I went ahead and got them. They were a little expensive. They were like $24.99 for a transfer. units for them, and they weren't that big. They were, I want to say, maybe 8-9 inches tall. Anyway, but at 25% off, they were pretty good. And they had decent reviews then, but now, I don't know, Christmas time came or whatever. Anyway, so I wanted to finish all that and get that done before I started shopping again. So I kind of missed out on the first day or maybe 2 of the Walgreens 90% off. Went to 3 yesterday, got some stuff at the first store, some toy. But all 3 stores I went to, that entire toy aisle, like what they brought in for Christmas was totally gone. There wasn't one item there. So either Scott or a friend of his came and bought everything. I know he didn't, because the things that I did get, he for sure would have picked up. So I don't know if in my region or whatever they just cleared it out, or somebody came in and bought most of it and they cleared out the rest. I don't know. But now I'm totally switching gears. If I see a Walgreens, I'll stop there, but I'm going to go to these 2 other Hallmark shops. I think they're like corporate stores, so I don't know if you might check in your area, see what they're doing. Looks like they're kind of doing some big changeover. But I definitely found good stuff there, and I'm going to go hit the other 2. I always say, be flexible. We will talk to you at the end of the day. It's 5 o'clock, and I haven't made it to the second Hallmark shop yet because I've made a lot of stops on the way. They were more my regular stops that I was going to make, that I then said I wasn't going to make. But when I'm nearby, and I think it's only going to be just a few minutes, I can't help myself. So I just now panicked just a little because it's actually 5:34 and I'm about 15 minutes away from that Hallmark shop, and I thought, oh no, I hope they don't close at 6. But I checked and they close at 8 o'clock, so we're good, because I'm stopping at 2 more stores on the way, because tomorrow I want to hit that 3rd Hallmark shop, and it's really on another side of town. So I'm trying to kind of wrap up this side of town. I got interrupted by a phone call there. It was such a nice phone call. I had boxes ready to go today. I don't know what's going on with my hair. I had boxes ready to go this morning, 5 of them, and I forgot to call UPS for pickup. Well, my driver knows I usually have a pickup on Wednesday, and he called to say, I'm checking to see if you needed a pickup today because I didn't see your name on the board. Wow. I did give him a nice tip at Christmas. And I gave everybody at the customer center cookies, big boxes of cookies. So I think I'm on the good list. But wow, that was super nice. Now I have no idea where I was. Okay, so I think I was talking about I hadn't made it to Hallmark yet. I stopped at a few more GameStops and Walgreens. I didn't get a whole lot, but I got a couple good things. And then I did pop into a Home Goods, which they've had some pretty good toys this year, but I really don't like to do the Marshalls, Ross, those stores, because the receipts don't have the UPC code on them. And that can be an issue if you get an IP claim. So what you really need to do, and I mean, I wouldn't advise, I just don't shop there. I was looking at one item. It's a really, really oversized item, which I've sold before. I never had a problem with. I haven't gotten it there before, but I went back and forth, and if it goes down about another $15, I will get them. And what I'll do is take a picture of the item with the UPC showing, and then take a picture of the Home Goods sticker and the receipt to show that this does match this UPC code. But I really wouldn't want to do it for, 30 items. So it's rare that I buy anything from there. There are just so many other places to buy where that has a good receipt that I just, and I don't have enough time in the day to go to every store everywhere. Obviously, because I can't even get to the stores that I meant to get to today. So now I'm sitting here in traffic, and I always feel weird sitting here talking to myself when there's people all around me. But I am going to head to the last, in that same shopping center with the Hallmark shop is a GameStop, so I will probably run in there. I will skip the Target. I told my husband I'd be home at 6:30. It's now 10 till 6. If that Hallmark shop has as much as the one I went to this morning, I won't be home till they probably close. I think I spent an hour in the other one. But I got 5 large shopping bags full for $164. Well over $600 worth of stuff. Because, I mean, something was, say, a $29 item on clearance for $10, and everything was 50% off clearance. I know there was those 3, the 3 fingerlings. I paid $15 total plus tax. I will profit $20 on each one. So anyway, of course I have to either split that with my son or just sell them to him, so I don't make all the profit on that. But there was plenty of profit in that batch. But the good thing is, now that I've scanned everything, it's likely that they'll have some similar items, and I won't have to scan every item. Or I'll know which ones to scan and which ones to skip, because there was some things that I couldn't sell. But there was one other item that was even more than the fingerlings that I can't sell. I did try to get ungated in the store, and they said I needed invoices, so that's another item. I'll find another reseller, because there's that much profit in it. They cost $5. They were originally $49, but it must be an older one because they're selling for $59 on Amazon. Anyway, it's going to be dark by the time I finish Hallmark, so I'll probably, unless I have something really exciting to tell you about, I will skip that. And then I did take some screenshots in the Home Goods TJ Maxx store of some toys, and why I would or why I wouldn't buy them. I was looking at toys, and I scan mostly toys today, a few grocery products, but I would say if you stuck to the top 1%. Alright, so originally when I started to resell, I basically went with just the rank, because I didn't know any more information than that. So I would say if you would stick to the top 1% of toys, and that doesn't mean it has to be a hot toy, because there's plenty of toys that are 1-2%. I'd say under 5%. But if you're up to 5%, I'd want a pretty high ROI, because that's going to take a little longer to sell. Anything 50,000 and under is going to sell pretty quick. Anyway, I'll try and go more into detail on that in the next one. I know that's initially what I was going to talk about today, but it is called Ramblings from the Road for a reason. Just like I change stores, or change direction, or change my mind, I change what I'm talking about. Let's see if we can let this poor guy through. Yeah, so if you're just going to go by rank, I would just stay really low. But you've got to remember that you need room there for the price to go down. So I remember when I very first started, I read Chris Green's book, Retail Arbitrage. There was one time last year when all his books were free for one day. But they're not real expensive. I mean, they're older now, so some of the details might have changed from back then, but it's got some good information if you want to grab it. So he talks about that 30-30-30 rule, or 33 point whatever, to add up to 100%. But figure if you buy something for $10 and sell it for $30, you'll make $10, because you need $10 to pay Amazon, $10 for the cost of goods, and $10 for your profit. But if you do that, if you buy it initially and you're going to make $10 on it, you've got room, $10 whole to go down if it's not selling. So 2-3 weeks from now, the price is starting to go down a little bit, and you want to sell yours, you can match that $9 profit, then $8 profit, then $7 profit. I mean, I wouldn't drop it instantly, but again, it depends on the rank. There's just so many things. It's so hard to say, buy A, sell it for B, and you'll make C. But here's why I started off kind of slow. I just started off really cautiously, you know, buy a couple things, send them in, learn how to list a shipment, see what sells, see what categories do well for you. So if you're buying 3 of something, 6 of something, and just testing it out over and over again, you're going to start to learn. And I really did start that slow. You know, by the second year, I was buying 12 or 20 of something. And I'm still pretty cautious. My son just shakes his head at me when I don't buy all of them. I do occasionally. But I really could kick myself because I bought 20 of a Lego right after Christmas. No, just before Christmas. Sold every one of them in like 2 days, went back to Costco, and they were gone. And they weren't sold out. What had happened was I said to the guy, do you have any toys left? And he goes, oh no, Christmas Eve. Took them all down, put up furniture. I was like, crap, because I bet they had 80 left. I could have sold 80 more. It is what it is. You win some, you lose some. I still sold 20 and made really good money on them, so I'm not going to complain. Maybe whine just a little bit. No, I hate whining and I hate whiners. So I know I can't really give you too much detail on how to pick something, but just practice, and you'll start to learn what sells really. I'd just say start off slow and start off with really low ranks. Because they do change pretty rapidly at times, but if you're that low, it's really probably not going to go from 1% to 50%, you know. I rarely buy in toys. I rarely buy anything over probably 5-8%. Which, you know, I'll buy. There are certain things I'll buy in the 400,000 rank, but that's really, really particular, something that I know. Alright, so maybe next time we can talk about what you can start learning, like Keepa, and how you can start to know more information on a product before you buy it. Okay, I'm a mile from the Hallmark shop, so I'm going to sign out for now. Do the YouTube things, like, subscribe, share with a friend. Thanks everybody for watching, because I just really did this for fun, and I can talk to myself without looking too weird because I'm making a video. I saw the best meme the other day. It said, I work for myself, so if you see me talk, I'm self-employed, so if you see me talking to myself, I'm in a meeting and don't disturb me. Because the longer I work by myself, the more I catch myself talking to myself. At least I'm not asking a question and answering it, so that might be going over the line. Anyway, talk to you soon. Bye. Well, that store was basically a bust, the Hallmark shop. I finally made it to the Hallmark shop, and this one was going out of business, and it was pretty empty. I scanned all the plush, and I found 4 pieces of plush that I think I'll make $5 a piece on them, or $7, something like that. So nothing super exciting, so now I'm glad I stopped at all those other places, and it wasn't that somebody ran in and got the stuff before me. I mean, it's a smaller store, number one, and number two, it's going out of business, and they just don't have a lot. It says they're going out of business February 25th, but the store is not even half full. And all the Valentine stuff, which is all the front half, isn't on sale at all, so I guess they're just staying open to get rid of the Valentine. Anyway, I might make it home. No, 6:30. I might make it home not too late. My second time I said I'd be home 7 o'clock, so. Okay, talk to you next time. Bye.